Most people assume that forgetting names, losing words mid-sentence, and walking into a room and standing there trying to remember why are just part of getting older. They are not. They are signs of a brain under nutritional stress. Modern neuroscience has now identified exactly which compounds the aging brain needs, and the people of the biblical world were eating them every single day without knowing what they were doing. Today, we're going through 10 biblical foods that protect the aging brain and reverse memory decline after 60. Stay with me, because number 6 was found in ancient Egyptian tombs, still perfectly preserved, and neurologists are now studying it for its effects on memory. And number 9 was carved into the pillars of Solomon's temple. Researchers just discovered it activates a process inside brain cells that most anti-dementia medications are trying to replicate. 10 foods, ancient wisdom, modern neuroscience. Let's get into it. Number 1, olive oil. The Bible references olive oil over 140 times. Kings anointed with it. Wounds dressed with it. The populations consuming it most had the lowest rates of cognitive decline ever recorded. Olive oil contains oleocanthal, a compound crossing the blood-brain barrier that increases production of proteins responsible for clearing amyloid plaques, the deposits accumulating in Alzheimer's disease. A study in ACS Chemical Neuroscience found oleocanthal enhanced the brain's waste clearance system significantly. Here is what most people get wrong. Oleocanthal is destroyed by heat. 2 tablespoons, cold, raw, drizzled over food after cooking, not into a hot pan. That is how the people of the Bible used it, not as a cooking fat. As a daily food, poured cold over everything. Number 2, walnuts. Walnuts grew throughout the ancient Near East and appear in the Song of Solomon. Daily food across the Mediterranean world since biblical times. A walnut split in half looks almost exactly like a human brain. Ancient physicians noticed this. Modern neuroscience confirmed the symbolism was real. Walnuts contain DHA, the omega-3 fatty acid, making up a significant portion of brain cell membranes. As DHA declines, signal transmission slows and memory retrieval becomes harder. A study in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease found regular walnut consumption improved memory scores and processing speed in older adults significantly. 7 walnuts a day, raw, not roasted. The way they were eaten in the ancient world, as daily food, not an occasional snack. Number 3, pomegranate. 200 pomegranates carved into the pillars of Solomon's temple. The high priest's robe decorated with them. Ancient people built this fruit into their most sacred architecture because they watched what happened to people who ate it consistently. Pomegranates contain punicalagin, converting in the gut into urolithins, compounds triggering mitophagy, the process clearing damaged components from brain cells and rebuilding them. A study in nutrients found pomegranate juice improved verbal and visual memory in older adults over 4 weeks. Brain imaging showed increased activity in memory regions. 4 ounces of pure pomegranate juice daily. The same fruit carved into Solomon's temple for reasons those ancient builders understood without a single clinical trial. Number 4, figs. When King Hezekiah was dying from a severe infection, Isaiah prescribed figs applied to the wound. A prophet of God reached for a fig. For the aging brain, figs contain chlorogenic acid, the antioxidant in coffee associated with reduced cognitive decline, and are rich in magnesium, quietly deficient in most people over 60. Magnesium regulates the NMDA receptor, most directly involved in memory formation. When it drops, Neurons fire erratically, and memory degrades. 3 to 4 figs a day. The prophet prescribed them for infection. The neuroscientist would prescribe them for the aging brain. Same plant, different language. Number 5, garlic. Numbers 11:5. The Israelites in the wilderness weep, and one of the things they mourn by name is garlic. A people sustained by miraculous food broke down weeping over a bulb. Modern neuroscience has since confirmed exactly why. Garlic contains S-allylcysteine, formed during aging of raw garlic, that reduces oxidative stress in brain tissue, inhibits amyloid plaque formation, and reduces neuroinflammation underlying most forms of cognitive decline. A study in aging found aged garlic extract significantly improved cognitive function and reduced inflammatory markers in older adults over 6 months. Here is what most people miss. Aged garlic extract delivers S-allylcysteine in the stable, concentrated form that crosses this blood-brain barrier most effectively. For brain protection, aged garlic extract supplements deliver what fresh garlic alone cannot provide consistently. The Israelites mourned it. The neuroscientist prescribes it. 3,000 years apart. Same plant, same result. Number 6, raw honey. Eat honey, for it is good. Proverbs 24:13. The promised land flowed with milk and honey. The Bible returns to honey with a consistency suggesting the ancient world understood something beyond its sweetness. Here is what was found in those Egyptian tombs. Honey, 3,000 years old, still edible, still chemically active. And the reason for that stability is also the reason honey matters for the aging brain. Raw honey contains pinosembrin, a flavonoid crossing the blood-brain barrier with direct neuroprotective effects. It reduces neuroinflammation, protects neurons from oxidative damage, and in studies improved spatial memory and learning. A review in evidence-based complementary and alternative medicine concluded that honey's neuroprotective effects deserve serious clinical investigation. The critical word is raw. Heated processed honey has been stripped of its active enzymes and most of its pinosembrin. Raw honey, unfiltered and unheated, is a functionally different food. 1 teaspoon in warm water in the morning. The same chemistry neurologists are now studying for memory protection. Number 7, lentils. Esau sells his birthright for a bowl of red lentil stew. That seems extreme until you understand what lentils provided. Lentils are one of the highest plant sources of folate. Folate deficiency is one of the most consistently documented risk factors for cognitive decline in older adults. Folate regulates homocysteine, an amino acid that in elevated levels is directly toxic to brain tissue and strongly associated with dementia. When folate drops, homocysteine rises. When homocysteine rises, brain tissue degrades faster. 1 cup of cooked lentils provides over 90% of the daily folate requirement. They also provide iron for oxygen delivery to brain tissue and resistant starch feeding gut bacteria, now understood to communicate directly with the brain. Esau made a poor bargain, but he understood the value of what he was getting. Number 8, barley. When Jesus feeds 5,000 in the Gospel of John, the loaves are made from barley, the grain of ordinary people, eaten daily for centuries. Barley contains the highest concentration of beta-glucan fiber of any grain. Beta-glucan feeds gut bacteria, producing butyrate, a short-chain fatty acid crossing the blood-brain barrier and directly reducing neuroinflammation, one of the primary drivers of age-related cognitive decline. Barley also has the lowest glycemic index of any common grain, providing sustained brain energy without blood sugar. spikes damaging cerebral blood vessels over time. The everyday bread of the ancient world turns out to be one of the most powerful brain foods available. Number 9. Dates. The date palm is mentioned more than any other fruit tree in the Bible. Desert traders carried dates because they kept people moving when nothing else would. Dates contain luteolin and ferulic acid, polyphenols shown to inhibit beta-amyloid aggregation, the process forming amyloid plaques in Alzheimer's patients. Inhibiting that process is exactly what most anti-dementia pharmaceutical research is trying to achieve. A study in neural regeneration research found date extract reduced plaque formation and improved cognitive function. 3 to 5 dates a day. The original survival food of the ancient world. The current subject of dementia research. Same fruit, same chemistry. Just finally, the right language. Number 10. Olive leaf. We end where we often end, with the olive tree, but not the oil, the leaf. Olive leaves contain oleuropein, shown to prevent tau protein aggregation, the second hallmark of Alzheimer's disease alongside amyloid plaques. A brain-forming tau tangles is losing its structural scaffolding. Oleuropein interrupts that process. A study in the European Journal of Nutrition found olive leaf extract reduced oxidative stress in the brain and improved cognitive performance in older adults over 12 weeks. Olive leaf tea, steeped 10 minutes, twice daily. The same tree appearing from Genesis to Revelation offers its most powerful brain medicine in the part most people have always thrown away. These 10 foods are not a supplement program. They are a daily practice, the same practice the people of the ancient world followed without knowing what neurons or amyloid plaques were. They followed it because they watched what happened to people who ate these foods consistently across generations. Start with olive oil and walnuts. Add pomegranate juice. Keep garlic in the daily diet. Build from there, not as a program, but as a way of eating that becomes how life is lived. The brain that stays sharp past 70, 80, 90 is not luck. It is what has been fed to it consistently over decades. The ancient world figured that out. Modern neuroscience is confirming it one compound at a time. That knowledge was never lost. It was just waiting to be remembered.